Good afternoon. The October 25th, 2016 meeting, the Oklahoma Water Utilities Trust will be in order. First item of the business is the approval of the minutes from the October 11th meeting.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Are there comments or questions? Hearing none, voting please. The minutes are approved. Next item is a consent docket. Any items to be discussed separately?
I'd move the consent docket subject to individual consideration.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent docket. Are there items? Anyone have any item that they want to discuss separately? Hearing none, voting please. Consent docket's approved. Next item is a concurrence docket. Great number of items on that docket also.
I'd move the concurrence docket subject to individual consideration.
Have a motion and a second to approve the concurrence docket. Comments, questions on any of the items? Hearing none, voting please. Concurrence docket's approved. Next item is emergency project. It's a resolution authorizing the general manager to purchase a fish screen assembly.
Mr. Chairman, due to the fact that we only have 3 votes and not 4 votes, I'd ask that we defer this item until the next meeting, unless we get
It requires 4.
an emergency.
And we have 3. I have a second for the deferral. Voting please. Matters deferred to the next meeting. The next item is items to be considered individually, and the first one is a resolution agreeing to file an application with the Water Resources Board for financial assistance through the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Loan Program. We talked about it on the council this morning, but it's on this, we have to approve the resolution. Are there questions or comments about that? Hearing none, we have a motion.
So moved.
A motion and a second to approve the resolution. Voting, please. Resolution is approved. The next one.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to make a comment. I think that the staff, and Brett in particular, does a really good job of balancing our debt, or our total capital program, amongst PAYGO capital, long-term debt, commercial paper, and the state revolving loan fund. They maximize the benefits of each of those, and I think have a pretty nice balanced cash pay-as-you-go plan with a well-thought-through debt strategy.
Okay, the next item requires 4 votes also, so I'd accept a motion to defer it to the next meeting.
Second.
And a motion and a second to defer. Voting, please. Item 6B is deferred to the next meeting. The next item is item from trustees. Any comments from trustees? Hearing none. General Manager's report. First item is a presentation on the Westward extension.
Mr. Chairman, members of the trust, Crystal Kowalik is here to give us a presentation.
Good afternoon, Chairman and trustees. Again, my name is Crystal Kowalik, and I'm the CIP Design Manager for the Utilities Department. I'm excited to be here today to give you an update on a critical project that we finally have completed. That is called the Westward Extension. The Westward Extension is basically from the Draper Water Treatment Plant that goes to the west side of town. Give you a little bit of background. In 2003, the Water Master Plan recommended this extension out west. It included parallel lines, 1 new booster station, upgrading 2 existing booster stations, and adding additional storage to the system for resiliency and redundancy. The first line you're going to see kind of lightly up there is a dashed blue line. It's kind of our existing 72-inch that winds through the south part of the city and up to the west side, and it turns eventually into a 16-inch. Part of the reason why we needed a parallel line is we were having a lot of low pressure issues on the west side of town. So we started a group of projects that started as a 48-inch from the Draper Water Treatment Plant to the booster station 25. All that line ended up being ductile iron pipe. From booster station 25 to booster station 9, we decided to let steel in as part of the bidding process, and actually all that section of 48-inch up to booster station 9 was actually steel pipe instead of ductile iron pipe. And then from Booster Station 9 out to the Reno tank was 30-inch, and it all ended up being ductile iron pipe. Some of the challenges that we had for this westward extension, we had to go through another city, the city of Moore. We had a long bore under I-35. We had to go alongside a golf course during spring and summer, so of course we had to keep everyone happy there. And of course the most important thing is that we had to make sure the 72-inch was protected as we did cross connections to make sure that we had redundancy if we were ever to lose that 72-inch in the future. Okay, so earlier I said that we built one new booster station. We called it Booster Station 25. It's basically located just south of the airport off of Southwest 104th Street. Here are some pictures of the new Booster Station 25, proudly displayed on the building up above. It basically has a firm capacity of 40 MGD, 3 pumps with 1 standby. We provided 5 million gallons of storage for the system. And we did something kind of new at that time for us, which is we put mixers in the system that help keep the water really fresh. Booster Station 9 was one of the 2 booster stations we had to upgrade. Yeah.
The mixers just aerate?
Yes. It
It's
just
just-
keeps it aerated. That's correct. So Booster Station number 9 is located on the north side of the outlet mall between Council and Rockwell. I don't know if you've been to the outlet mall, if you've seen it, but it blends really nice with the mall. We're really proud of it. Here's some before pictures of the existing booster station. I'm sorry, some of these are a little dark, but here are the after pictures of Booster Station number 9. It has a firm capacity of 20 MGD with 4 pumps, 1 being a standby. We were having difficulty with pressures and volume of water to fill the Reno tank, and now after this booster station, we are able to do that. We also had to put a pump in the median in the summer, a big diesel pump, because we couldn't keep up with the pressures on the western demand, and we were able to now eliminate that. We also had problems with electrical reliability, and we added some new transformers to this booster station. Booster 14 was the other booster station we had to upgrade. It's located just south of I-40 off of Mustang Road. Here are some before pictures. We had the same problem in the lower left-hand picture. If you notice, there's a big diesel pump sitting out to the side of that building. And if you notice in the background, there's some homes. We used to make some neighbors very angry because it was extremely loud. Now here is Booster Station 14 after completion. Also a 20 MGD firm capacity with 4 pumps and 1 standby. We had 2 smaller booster stations in the system to help keep up with pressures that we were now able to eliminate. And of course, we got rid of that loud diesel pump. So just kind of summarize, we did about $117 million in improvements. We did over 37 miles of pipeline, constructed 1 new booster station, rehabbed 2 booster stations. There was 21 engineering contracts and 23 construction contracts. And I'm glad to report that we are actually finished with all of them. And before we go, if you had any questions, I would like to also thank our line maintenance and water quality crews, because without them, some of the tie-ins and shutdowns we had to do late at night and over the weekends were very difficult, but we managed to keep all of our customers in service. And with that, if you have any questions. Right.
No, I think we've obviously, that's been the weakest part of our system for decades, and we've done some things over time to fix it, but boy, this should take care of that western side for generations, I would think. Or at least a little while.
Thank you.
One point of interest, if you look at the the ground storage tank there, there's the potential to build 3 more at that site. So we have enough land where we can expand in the future when we want some more capacity, storage capacity. Thank you, Crystal. The next item that I have is the pro forma for period ending August 31. Currently, we're on target for water and wastewater revenues. Our expenditures are about 2% below the anticipated level, primarily because of the Atoka pumping to the Lake Draper. We had a leak that we had to address down there before we could start pumping. So we're a little bit below on electricity and a little behind schedule for pumping the water up. But we're taking care of that as we speak. Questions?
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions with regard to the city manager's reports or the general manager's reports? You know, one thing that occurs to me, we're talking about this westward thing. How much of that is necessitated by the sprawl that we permitted to occur all the way to Deer Creek? Is that an effort to get water to those places?
It's a combination of that, and quite frankly, we do sell water we sell to a rural water district, but a lot of water to Yukon, El Reno, and Mustang that we've got to get out there. That may not be our worst business decision to get water out to those folks.
I wouldn't want anybody to think that I wanted more development in my ward, because I don't. But it certainly would have been economically sounder to have encouraged development around the Draper plant, it seems to me, than to encourage development in Logan County. So I just
That's more Canadian.
Something to look at in the future, I would think. I don't want whoever comes after me to take that as an indication I want to see houses built across the street from me, but I think there are some areas in the southeast part of Oklahoma City that could develop residentially that we wouldn't be spending all this money to go that far to take water to them.
Mr. Chairman, part of this project was necessary to enable the redundancy in our system. We have one more piece of that to finish, and then we'll have the redundancy that we desire to be able to move water from one side of the city to the other in the event of a problem.
I'm just singling out one thing. I recognize there are lots of reasons. I mean, not the least of which is the decreased reliability of the water from the west. I mean, as time's gone on, the reliability of that water source has diminished. Maybe now that we're changing house speakers, that'll change, but it certainly has diminished. The difficulty in getting water from the western source has increased several-fold over the last 5 or 6 years. Anyway, go vote. 2 weeks from today, go vote. I will, any other comments or questions? Any citizens to be heard? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you.